We are headed north on Corkery Road. We just passed the NRO campground about a half a mile ago, and we're going to be taking a right on Box Hollow Road. Gravel road, and there it is. You can see a little like a food hut or a wing shack, I don't know, wings and pizza. Met the guy that runs that. He lives out here. It might be a good landmark, but it's probably just something he runs in the summer, although the building might be there year-round. So we'll go a few hundred yards and we'll see Tract 3 on the right side of the road. This is Tract 1. Oh, I wish that sun would come out. Come on, sunshine. A little bit of sun peeking through. Take it. It's better than no sun. And that's Tract 2 we're passing now. So we'll be coming up on Tract 3. Here's a driveway with a huge bass for a mailbox. So that's a pretty good landmark. And I believe Tract 3 starts up here on the right. There's a ribbon there in the tree, and that marks the approximate northwest boundary. Okay, so that's Tract 3 on the right side. And we do have a little sun, although it's right in our face. Nice timber, I can see that already. Topo map indicates that there's some nice level areas here on the north end. As you go south, it slopes down and then back up again to another large level area more toward the south end. We'll kind of look at the road frontage here, and then I'll pull off the road and we can walk a little bit, really check it out. So there's the sign indicating that we are indeed at Tract 3. You can see power directly on the property. Telephone as well, I can see a telephone box there. So as we get toward this other driveway, we're toward the northeast corner of Tract 3. So we got a pretty good look at the road frontage. I'm gonna back up and see if there's a spot where I can pull off of Box Hollow. I'm sure I could pull right over to the side, but just depending on how long we look at this property, I'd love to just pull right off the road. That looks pretty good right there. Be bumpy here. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So looking east on Box Hollow, so of course Tract 3 is on the right. To the west, you can see Tract 3 on the left. And let's go for a little walk here. Nice timber up here on the north end. This is the first time I've walked on Tract 3 at all. I've seen it from the road. I have not set foot on the property, as they say. Now this is fairly level, although it's got a slight slope down as we move south. I think if we went more toward the northeast side, we'd have a larger, just plain level area. Now this isn't what I call a steep slope. I don't think it would really affect too much for your house or your yard. I personally like a little bit of roll to a yard. Kind of makes it more interesting. Excellent area. If you haven't yet had the chance, you might want to Google the Niangua River in Missouri, and you will find all kinds of great information. There's a little Niangua, which is further to the north, 20 miles to the north, and then there's the big Niangua, and that's what we're near. If we kept going on Box Hollow Road, I am told it'll take you right to the river, although it gets rough. Otherwise, we could have just continued straight on Corkery for just a mile or two, and we would be at the Barclay Conservation Area on the Niangua River, which is a beautiful, beautiful public use area right on the river. This is really nice. I see some great timber. We're a couple 100 feet off the road. This is really nice. I really, I guess appreciate would be the word. I appreciate these areas with the big timber and no brush, because when the guys are prepping a building site, this is ultimately what they're trying to end up with. And for whatever reason, this is just ready to go. This is like a park. It's beautiful. Let's continue to the south so we can take a look at where it begins to slope down. More big timber. Oh, this is just great. I am very impressed with Tract 3. Deer and wild turkey, prevalent out here, great hunting. Obviously, fishing is phenomenal in the Niangua River. You can bring your own canoe. We actually have some inflatable kayaks that we bought at Academy Sports, about $100, but they're not the kind you might be thinking of from 20 years ago that would pop on a blade of grass. These are really heavy-duty, reinforced, and you take them down the river just like metal or fiberglass ones, and they hold up really well. The bonus is, since they're inflatable, you get the little battery-powered pump, and you can throw them in the trunk of a car. You don't have to strap them on top of your car or your truck. This is clearly where it slopes down. I can see the bottom of the valley there. Actually, it's quite pretty. There may be just a trickle of water down there, but I don't believe there's too much. I think we could safely call that a wet weather creek. As I walk into a spider web. There we go. I think I'll just go around. Oh, that's really pretty. Wow. We're on almost a miniature bluff. Looking down at that creek bed. Big mature timber on the other side as well. Wow. Some huge oak trees over there. There's a big boy right there. So the property slopes down to the bottom of the valley. It goes back up the other side, and I can actually see where it levels off on the other side. Can't really pick it up with the camera, but you can see where it levels off over there. So a lot of opportunities for different building sites or campsites. Man, you could have fun with a four-wheeler out here, create some trails, or just kind of go nuts. That's what we tend to do. Be careful though. Wear a helmet. Nice property. We're big on privacy for building sites, so we would probably, if this were my personal property, I would bring the site back in probably a few 100 feet and get totally out of sight of that county road, and potentially overlooking this valley, because this is pretty. This is really serene out here. After a rainstorm, I'm sure there'd be water in that creek. That would be beautiful to see and to listen to. Power and phone available is a gigantic bonus. Off-grid is great too, and that's getting cheaper all the time, but it's hard to find too much wrong with having power and phone available. Nice property. Tract 3 at Niangua Valley.